Thank you. Thank you. Hello. How are you? Excellent. It's great to be back in New York. And how about a nice round of applause for everybody who's working so hard making this conference? They are lovely people, and they are dogged and determined. David called me to invite me to the conference and said, you know, Bill, everybody is having difficulties and struggling to create content, even 1 minute of content that might be engaging and might be viral and might be enjoyed by millions of people. And you guys in the sitcom business, you guys create 22 minutes of content every week, 22 weeks in a row. Is there a secret sauce? Is there something you can come and teach the rest of us? And I said, no. There's no way that you can condense all those years of experience and information into 15 minutes. And he said, great, we'll see you Thursday at 2. And here I am. That plus my wife told me to get the hell out of the house for a few days. So, and you don't want to struggle with her. So first I'd like to congratulate everyone here just for being here, because just by being here, you're showing that you know something that your competitors don't know, which is whatever business you think you're in show business. Now, in 2014, you're in show business. Because whatever outcome you want, whether it's a VC funding your company or somebody buying your product or Facebook buying your whole dang company, whoever tells the best story wins. Decent product, phenomenal story, versus phenomenal product and just a decent story, which do you want to bet on? And increasingly, it's got to be in the language of video. Apparently, very few people can read any longer. And those who can read don't, and those who do won't, and if they will, it's 140 characters at a time. And they need the Cliff Notes for that. So suddenly, your business's survival depends not on your genius and experience and expertise as a coder or a designer or a marketer or a financier or a leader of people. Now you've got to be a funny movie producer, or at the very least know enough to judge what an outside agency is giving to you. So what we're going to do today is a very interactive, learn by doing, not learn by listening, learn by watching, learn by taking notes and trying to figure out how to apply it later. Let's take out our cell phones, okay? I know they told you to put away your cell phones, but to hell with them. This is New York, am I right? We don't need rules here. Let's take out our cell phones and let's be ready to text ourselves simple, short answers to some simple, short questions that I will pose. And this is going to constitute actual work product that you can act on immediately as soon as you leave the building, or even right now. Now, the first step in content creation and the secret sauce of Hollywood is writing. Nobody picks up a camera and starts shooting and hopes for the best, and we'll figure it out in post. It all starts in the writer's room. You've all heard of the writer's rooms in Hollywood, where the talented and the almost talented and the used to be talented and the never were talented to begin with in the first place get together and create this massive amount of content just every week that we see on TV and in films. And now, we are all of us in the biggest writer's room in history, all right? So take out your phones and answer the following question, because the first ingredient in the secret sauce is audience. Who do you want watching your content? Okay? Who is your customer? And take a moment and just text that to yourself. Who do you want watching your content? Now, as you do that, I'll just share with you that in our world, in television, if we want to deliver an audience of upscale women 18 to 34, we might make a sophisticated romantic comedy with a lot of relationshipy stuff. If we want to deliver guys 12 to 24, we'd probably make a comedy with a couple of idiots in space, where a lot of things blow up, and there's a robot who farts. So, who you want watching your content has a ripple effect that affects the entire process, from the script to the production to the distribution of the content. And while we're all here because of funny, funny is not monolithic. It's not one thing. Saying funny is like saying ice cream. Everybody likes ice cream, but there's a million different flavors. And the goal here is to find the fit between your audience, your customer, and that tone. So, who texted something to themselves about who you want watching your content? Just raise your hand, anybody. Yes, share with us. Past and future clients, and you sell real estate. Great. Anybody else? You move, yes. Employees, whose employees? Financial companies' employees. Okay, great. Now, we all know who our audience is for this content. And now let's ask the following question. Let's talk pain. What pain does this person who will be watching your content, what pain do they have that your product or service is going to solve? What pain, what problem do they have that your product or service is going to solve? And just text that to yourself. And as you do, I will just share with you that if you're having any difficulty with this, it's completely normal. When I consult with companies on content, these are the very first questions that I ask, and sometimes I ask 3 different executives, and I'll get 3 different answers, which is kind of troublesome. Because if you don't know exactly who your audience is and what their pain is, how are you going to design product? How are you going to design packaging? What VCs are you going to approach? So it sounds like it's a question about video creation, but really it's a question that goes to the heart of the entire enterprise. Okay, the pain. Sir, what pain do these employees, other than the fact they have to work in a financial company, you know, time to make the donuts. What pain do they have that your product or service might solve for them? Ignorance. So they're ignorant about something, and you're going to edify them. Okay. And ma'am, what pain or problem does your audience of past and future real estate buyers have that you're going to solve for them? You're going to what? Oh, you don't want to make a homelessness joke. That's a. Let me make the homelessness joke, really. It's. How do they want to live? Okay. Now, the next step is action. What specific action do you want this viewer with this problem to take immediately upon seeing your content? Do you want them to click through to something? Do you want them to download something? Do you want them to buy a shoe? Do you want them to call their mother? What do you want them to actually do? Text that to yourself and take a moment. We can keep playing with our current contestants. Sir, if you don't mind, what action would you like them to take from having seen your content? So you want them to click through to your website to learn more? Or do you want them to enroll in a course? Do you want them to sign up for something or respond to something? And by the way, is everyone having this kind of, oh, I need to dial in the clarity of the answers to this? Are people, is this a common experience right now? Okay. Well, that's good, because raising these kinds of questions now at the very beginning is where you really want to raise them. Okay. So now we know what our audience is, and we know what their pain is, we know what the action we want them to take is, hopefully. Now we get to write the script for this content, because nobody picks up a camera and starts shooting. The heart of the script is the story. But the heart of the story is what we call the log line. And the log line is that 1 or 2 sentence synopsis of the story. And this is really the secret sauce. This is the DNA of the whole dang thing. The log lines for every good story boil down to the following: who wants what, and what stops them? Who wants what, and what stops them? Every good story can be crystallized into that one log line. So that's the secret sauce. And if you can write a log line that makes you happy, you have a chance at writing a story based on that log line that makes you happy. And then you have a chance at writing a script based on that story, based on that log line that makes you happy. And then you have a chance at producing that script based on the story, based on the log line that gets you the result that you want, which is these financial employees clicking through to your edifying service, or your past and future real estate customers clicking through to solve their lifestyle problem. So who wants what, and what stops them? And now, here's the magic template for your story. And all of your content can comport to this. And if you give this story to 20 different writers, you're going to get 20 very different stories. So that said, here's the magic template for your story. We see your customer. They're trying hard to get what they want. They fail because of the problem that you're going to solve. They discover your product or service, use it, succeed, and get what they wanted in the first place. Click here. That's it. That's your beat sheet, another term of art inside Hollywood. Those are the beats, the events, the major things that happen in a story. Now, by the way, if I did that too quickly, if you want, you can text me. I will send you on the house, I will send you the magic template. Okay? I'll give you the number right now, 310-908-7553. You can text me. It's in my pants right now. And not only that, I have my phone. And I'll be happy to send you the magic template for your story. And even though these are the bones of your story, the execution of that, the specifics that you choose, will make for a wide variety of flavors of ice cream depending on what audience you're looking to serve. So if we wanted to make, for example, a video to sell the FunnyBizz conference, let's say that was our task. We start with audience. Now, one audience that we can target for something like this might be founders of startups. Let's say it's that. It's founders of startups. Their pain is money. They want VC funding. And the action we want them to take is to buy a ticket to the FunnyBizz conference. So what might that story look like? We see a founder, maybe in a hoodie, in a meeting with VC trying to get funding. He fails because his story is so boring. The VCs are lapsing into comas. He discovers the FunnyBizz conference, buys a ticket, attends, learns how to make delightful, fun content, gets all the VC funding that he wants. Click here to buy your own ticket to the FunnyBizz conference. That's it. Now, as I say, 20 different writers will give you 20 different versions of that. So there's plenty of room for creativity in there. So we have the audience, and we have the pain, we have the action we want them to take, and we come to the $64,000 question, which is, do you want to create this content yourself, in-house, or do you want to go outside and hire someone from outside? It's kind of the question, should you give yourself a haircut? And as you can tell, it doesn't always work out well. The answer to that question is, if your skill set in writing and directing and producing funny video is as high as the skill set in your core competencies, by all means, do it yourself. It's fun. You can shoot it on the phone that you're holding right now. If not, the good news is you're in New York. You're within 30 minutes of the funniest writers, directors, actors, producers in the world. And your job may be to first find them and hire them. So as long as those people that you do go outside and hire, if you do that, comport to this secret sauce that we've just learned, I think you'll be fine. And in conclusion, I want to say that creating video is a very collaborative activity. So if there's anybody who has the power to kill it or change it at the end of the process, get them to sign on at the beginning of the process. Apparently, some people have had this experience, because it happens every day that one executive says, hey, you know what? Let's make a video with a stripping polar bear. And they make it, and then the other guy finally chimes in and says, you know, that's really off-brand for us. We don't do that here. So give the funny video making process the same amount of respect and centrality that you give to any other function in your enterprise, because funny videos and because being funny is serious business. I thank you so much for your kind attention. Have a wonderful conference. We'll see you later. Thank you.